Hudsons heading to state. Running. It seems like such a simple concept. Just pick your feet up and push off the ground. This is what someone might think while watching a cross-country runner pace themselves through a 3.1-mile trek to the finish line. This is so wrong. There really is an art to running, especially when trying to beat out the fastest runners in your state division while always pushing to make yourself better than the last race. Jude and Hadley Hudson just experienced this in the 2024 cross-country season. All their hard work and training paid off when the siblings traveled to the state cross-country meet for their division race in October. Cross-country really is a special sport. Here are Natalie Schmucker and Elizabeth Francis's thoughts.
I enjoy running. It's just a fun thing to do, and you can do it with friends too. And I mean, you'll always be able to do it. You can do it anywhere. It just keeps you healthy too.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of find it, at least now I do, as like more of like a stress reliever kind of thing. Like, I don't know, it's a nice time to like just get your thoughts in order. And
not only is it special to those who participate, but the scoring is also unique.
It's individual, like you just run your hardest in that race and in that moment. But then like when it comes down to it, it's a team thing. So like top 5 runners score, and so however fast you can run, and the people behind also count too, behind the 5. So
yeah, and like you said, we're all working together, but like individually.
When in cross country, you are trying to run for yourself and for your team. You must run your best in the moment, but not only are you trying to place, you are trying to score the least amount of points for your team. You can't just give up when the pain in your side grows sharper or the sun beats down on you and you feel the sweat dripping down your face. Coach Kinsman said this is especially difficult due to
I think for us, weather tends to be one of those things. Again, we can't control the weather. We can prepare for it, but that's one thing, that we can't really control. So I think that is something that they might have to work through. Also, sometimes as runners, we just don't feel good. Our bodies don't feel good. We may be tired. Maybe it was a really stressful week at school and our mind is not in it. So it's just working through those things. I think that's a challenge. There's just races that you step on the line, the gun goes off, and your body just doesn't feel good. But it's still working through that and doing the best that you can each day. And that's one thing that we tell our athletes is, not every race is going to be a PR race, but as long as you're running your best on that day, that's all we ask.
Coach Kinsman said the way she motivates the runners mid-race is,
if you ask them, I yell a lot. I try and the 3 of us, Coach Martinez, Coach Hudson, and myself, we try and place ourselves at key points on the course, points that we know may be more challenging to the athlete. We place ourselves there and we do give them encouraging words. We might have key words that we give them, or just waking them up a little bit and letting them know that, okay, you have 800 meters to go, or you are halfway through the race, and just again waking them up and giving them some encouraging words. But yes, I do have a very loud voice and they can hear me for quite a ways.
how do you actually get better at running? It has got to be all talent, right? Actually, the skill of running must be built up over time. The start of the season begins in June with all the runners coming together to practice. Coach Rachel Kinsman said,
So cross-country wise, we start usually mid-July. Early July, we will start meeting. Sometimes it just depends how the calendar falls or vacations and stuff, but we try and get in some practices in July. So we will start meeting 3 times a week in July. The kids meet on their own sometimes, and they basically start with just doing mileage. So they will be putting in a base, and they call it their base. And so they just add up mileage each week, and that kind of is the core of our cross-country training and where we want the kids to start. So then once the season does start on August 1st, we're kind of ready to start doing workouts.
the regular season centers around growing team bonds and getting better in every race you run in. Jude and Hadley Hudson said,
I think it's special to see like younger runners make it far, and that doesn't just mean me and Hadley, just like especially our sophomore boys. I guess I'm just speaking on the boys' behalf, but they've definitely improved from last season, and there's a big chunk of them that have improved together and not just one at a time. And so they've all been pushing each other at the bottom of that varsity pack. And what's special to me about that is that means that we're going to have a consistent group next year.
Yeah, I would just say, once again, just the young people like just stepping up, not just me and Jude once again. But, and I love to see the consistency of Archibald, that we just have these big numbers. And I think that's really cool, because you go to like leagues and it's just like, it's really crazy to see some of these teams having like 2 to 3 people.
Oh, yeah.
And then like we're coming in with 45, 50 people coming into these races. And it's definitely like, it gives you more confidence.
Jude and Hadley Hudson said that
I think our coaches do a really good job of setting a good system up in the beginning, so we know when our recovery days are coming and we know when our workouts are coming. That type of schedule and consistency just helps us throughout the season.
Yeah, I would say mostly like a lot of the same. Definitely just like speed workouts, just working on visually seeing that finish line and just seeing those like shifts of when you need to go, when you don't need to go, when you just need to relax, and yeah.
before a race, your mind is prone to be very anxious. The Hudsons said,
Sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming because there's so many numbers of people. I would just say you're trying to stay relaxed because you don't want to use all of your energy in the beginning of the race, and sometimes you can like overwhelm yourself because once again of just all the numbers and just like the thought of like you have to go run against all these people that are bigger and stronger than you, and yeah, I don't know.
For me, I'd say it's definitely controlling your adrenaline before the race. You don't want to psych yourself out, and really it doesn't matter how many people are in that race. You're focused on that top 30 or 20, and you go out there and you know where they're at, you know where you're at, and you have the confidence to go and beat them.
around the end of the season, thoughts of state pop into mind. This year, Jude and Hadley Hudson were the only 2 Archibald runners to make it to state. This is especially special for Hadley.
I definitely think it gives me a little bit of confidence knowing that I still have 3 more years. Yeah, I think it's really cool that we both got to experience this. And I think it's cool that we're only 1 year apart, so we can keep on being consistent and just growing stronger through the few more years that we have here in the long time. I definitely think it was a good thing to have an experience at like a younger age, so then because it was pretty overwhelming seeing how many people are in like a state race and seeing how like there's people that are like all your same speed at this place, and it's just like it's really cool.
You might think training for state is very extreme. Training for state looks like
It would be continuing. So, we have our plan that includes the whole season, so all of our different races. Some of the kids, their peak race might be at our league meet, and so we would adjust some of their training for that race. And then there's a group of them that district, regional, and state is their goal, and that's what they are working for. And so that would be on our plan from the start. That base mileage in the beginning of the season, and then the big bulk of the workouts in the middle. Once we get to district and regional, we tweak things a little bit, just because a lot of the work has already been done, but we want to fine tune things, and so we would maybe do some specific workouts for district, and then specific ones for regional. The state meet week is hard, and I told Hadley and Jude that this year, because we still want to do some work, but the work's been done.
Yeah.
So it's a balance, and it's a stressful time for us as coaches because we want to do what's right for those athletes. And each year it looks a little different because each athlete is different. And so it's us knowing our athletes and then just making sure that we're doing what works for them.
some memories of state include
For me, I don't know, a lot of like team time. I feel like a lot of bonding. Just a lot of spending time with everybody. Yeah.
One of my favorite memories is probably playing cards in our hotel room,
Yeah.
all the girls together, and eating Olive Garden in the hallway on the floor. That was pretty fun.
Yep.
Due to the very close team bonds of the cross-country team runners,
I feel like I was really excited and happy for them, and like kind of feeling like I was on the line with them, even though I wasn't.
the races went very well for the Hudsons.
I got 54th out of, I think, 192 girls.
That's amazing.
I know I had 192 boys in my race, and I got 36th.
After state, the season and training doesn't just end, but you must stay in shape year-round.
I encourage them to take a little break. It's a long season. When we start in July and we're going until November, it's a long season. So I do encourage them to take a break, but then also encourage them to get out and start training again, especially if they don't have a winter sport. Some of them have winter sports, and that's what their focus is, and that's great too. I encourage that as well. But if we don't have a winter sport, take a little bit of a break, start running again, just going out and jogging with your friends, getting everybody together. Not any stress on anything, just getting those miles in. And then late December, and then once we get back from break in January, we will meet 2 to 3 times a week, just doing some training stuff for our track and field conditioning, kind of an indoor track and field conditioning kind of thing for those that don't have a winter sport. I know a lot of our cross-country kids, they do get together just because they like to run with people. So they'll get together and go for a run, and I love seeing that too.
It really is amazing to watch the Hudsons and all the cross-country runners train and become better with every practice. The runners all get in the zone, focusing on the task at hand, pushing themselves to pass that next runner. Jude and Hadley accomplished their goal for the season, overcoming the difficulties of the cross-country season and making it all the way to state. I am excited to see where the next season takes these runners. Their determination really is amazing and inspiring. Thank you to Jude Hudson, Hadley Hudson, Rachel Kinsman, Natalie Schmucker, and Elizabeth Francis for interviewing. Also, thank you to Archbold High School for allowing us to use their technology. I'm Molly Rutledge. This has been a production of ArchCom Media. Subscribe for more great content.